live in HD. This is News 10 ABC at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Christine O'Donnell. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Christine O'Donnell. I'm Christine O'Donnell. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Christine O'Donnell, filling in for January Keehan tonight. The aftermath of the shooting in Newtown, Connecticut last month has been followed by talks of gun control. But now those talks are heating up even more as lawmakers prepare to take action. News 10's Lindsay Nielsen joins us live from the state capitol with the latest. Lindsay?
I hope it doesn't open, it's not going to open the door to gun control.
But that's exactly what the Newtown shooting has done as lawmakers return to Albany.
We're following developing news right now of a serious rollover accident in the town of Coymans tonight. Police are not releasing much information at this time, but we do know that 5 people were involved and that 3 of them, including a 16-year-old girl, were thrown from the vehicle. All 5 passengers have been hospitalized. It's unclear at this point how badly they were hurt. We'll continue to bring the latest information to you on this crash as it becomes available. A Troy fire chief is recovering at home tonight after authorities say he was involved in a car accident while on the way to a call. Police say Battalion Chief Ray Davis was hit by Sarah Miller of Troy while responding to calls of a fire in Lansingburg last night. Miller was also released from the hospital. She has been ticketed for failure to yield to an emergency vehicle. State police in Ulster say the man found by a set of tracks with his arm and leg severed is in critical but stable condition tonight. It's a story we first brought to you yesterday. Police say 21-year-old Nick Ogden was found conscious lying by the tracks near the Ulster Hose Fire Company yesterday morning. They say a conductor of a CSX train spotted Ogden and called authorities. Ogden lost his right arm and leg after police say they believe he was hit by a passing train. It's still unknown at this time what Ogden was doing by the tracks. An investigation is underway. A woman under arrest for her alleged involvement in last month's tragic shooting death of 2 firefighters in Western New York says she knew the gunman and even referred to him as a kind neighbor. She's talking about William Spangler, who set his Webster home on fire on Christmas Eve to lure firefighters in so he could shoot them. Federal authorities believe Dong Yunuyung lied on a form when she bought a shotgun and a semi-automatic rifle, claiming that they were for herself, when really they were for Spangler. Spangler shot and killed 2 firefighters and injured 2 others before shooting himself. Nyuyung says she's shocked about the killings. She's due in court on Tuesday. Back in the Capital Region, disenfranchised voters ramping up efforts for a ballot recount in the contentious 46th Senate District race. They're calling on an appellate court to count the ballots in the race between Republican George Amador and Democrat Cecilia Katchik, even though Amador has already been certified the victor. Now, on Friday, voters turned over and over 5,000 signatures to the court demanding a judge intervene and count the ballots. Now, tomorrow, activists say they plan to deliver even more petitions at a 10:30 hearing at the Justice Building. New Yorkers could soon be spending less on health insurance. That's good news. That's according to Governor Andrew Cuomo, who says a new state power to limit rate hikes will save residents more than $500 million on premiums. Cuomo says health insurers requested an increase of about 12%, but the state cut the average to about 7.5%. The governor says holding back rates is one part to making sure health insurance is available to all New Yorkers, but that much more needs to be done to keep health care costs down. And speaking of health, the state is issuing a 5-year plan to fight cancer. The plan is aimed at fighting cancer causers like smoking, poor nutrition, and obesity to limit the disease, which kills about 35,000 New Yorkers a year. The plan also calls for tracking cancer survivors and ensuring that they get the right medical treatment. There are about 1 million cancer survivors living in the state today. A large effort underway today to make sure those in our area don't go hungry. Now, hundreds of bags of non-perishable food items were collected to benefit the Regional Food Bank of Northeastern New York earlier in the week. Volunteers delivered bags to residents, asking them to fill them up with food. And as you can see right there, many did help out. Now, the bags were collected this morning and placed into a large truck. Last year, over 14,000 pounds of food were collected, and organizers hope to beat that number this year. Now, do you have what it takes? Dozens of beauties showed up at Colony Center today to see if they do. Now, that was during a casting call for the show America's Next Top Model. The show held casting calls today in search for 20 contestants. Auditions were not only open to women, but men as well, which is a first for the show. All who entered were required to bring a headshot, record a quick interview, and of course, strut their stuff for the judges. President Obama is back in Washington tonight with a lot on his plate. But first, let's take a live look at the roads. This is I-90, exit 3 right there. And as you see there, the roads are going pretty smoothly, which is good news. You're watching News 10 at 6 o'clock. We're right back after the break.
Live in HD. This is News 10 ABC at 6.
A search for possibly armed suspects last night prompts a lockdown at the College of St. Rose. How the school and those in the neighborhood are reacting. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Christine O'Donnell. Well, Albany police say around 9 last night, shots were fired during an attempted robbery at a home on Hudson Avenue near the St. Rose campus. As police combed the area, including St. Rose grounds for suspects, the school sprung into action to keep students out of any potential danger. News 10's Lindsay Nielsen joins us live from Albany with more on how the school acted and the reactions of those nearby. Lindsay?
We heard a loud noise. We weren't exactly sure what it was.
I heard a pop sound.
That pop sound, neighbors too afraid to show their faces Sunday heard, according to...
Thank you, Lindsay. Well, there was a large law enforcement response at Queensbury's Aviation Mall early this morning, but it was only a training exercise. You're looking at photos from the Warren County Sheriff's Office Emergency Response Team as they conducted an active shooter drill just at the crack of dawn today. Sheriff's officials tell News 10 the event was all part of a routine training to ensure that the public is safe in case there is ever a shooting or similar attack at the mall. High winds throughout the capital region led to thousands of outages early this afternoon. National Grid reported some 6,000 of their customers locally lost power just after 12:30, with the hardest hit areas being Gloversville, Glens Falls, and Saratoga. But mostly everyone now, thank goodness, has their power back, except for nearly 40 people in Fulton County and 100 plus in both Saratoga and Warren counties. Now, the public inauguration ceremony for President Obama is tomorrow morning, but his second term actually began today.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Justice. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Both President Obama and Vice President Biden officially sworn into office this morning. The reason, U.S. Constitution requires that the president begin their second term by noontime of January 20th. Come tomorrow, though, hundreds of thousands are expected to gather at the National Mall in Washington for the president's public inauguration and celebration, where he will again take the oath of office with his hands on Bibles, once used by Abraham Lincoln and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And a local family will be there. Among the hundreds of thousands there tomorrow, George Sakaris of Slingerlands won tickets for he and his family to attend. Sakaris left for Washington last night, and today, News 10's Angelique Tejay caught a glimpse of this weekend's celebrations.
On Saturday, an excited George Sakaris and his seemingly bored-looking two children, Jason and Ariana, boarded a train heading to New York's Penn Station before hopping another to Baltimore en route to D.C. for the president's inauguration.
Tomorrow is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, where the nation pauses to remember the leader of the civil rights movement. Gearing up for tomorrow, Schenectady County's Human Rights Commission honored Dr. King's legacy today with its annual community rally outside of the State Street's First United Methodist Church. Well, high winds prevented them from marching this year, but that did not drown out the spirit of the attendees. Gatherers prayed, listened to songs, and Dr. King's famous "I Have of a dream speech. Inside, away from all that breeze and wind, the commission's chair told News 10 of the importance of this year's rally.
Mission is here in commitment, dedication to Dr. King's dream, and also our fulfillment within our mission, and that is to respect everybody's rights and to protect everyone's rights.
Now, after the rally, attendees were treated to a talk from UAlbany's Africana Studies professor and a performance by the local King Choir. Now, coming up, remember that crime lab scandal in Massachusetts last year? Well, authorities say they're now dealing with another scandal, this one in Western Massachusetts. And coming up, more on this close-to-home arrest when News 10 at 6 continues.